Welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to interpret the surface processes in 3 different locations. The Earth's surface is a dynamic and ever-changing environment shaped by geological and geomorphological processes. Understanding these surface processes can help us to learn the formation of these landscapes, as well as predicting future changes. The presentation will focus on 3 key points. First is the current geomorphological landscape and geological setting. Second is the present-day surface processes and depositional environments. The third is the potential rock types that form as a result of these processes. My aim is to provide a comprehensive overview of how surface processes shape the landforms. The first place is the Castle Dune in Mojave Desert, USA. The Castle Dune covers 120 square kilometers with the highest height of 200 meters. The transverse dune, longitudinal dunes, and star dunes are all observable in the satellite image. According to the image, the Castle Dune is located at a depression among mountains. The Granite Mountain on the south and the Providence Mountain on the east are notable for their influence on the formation of the Castle Dune. The alluvial fans are common features of the Mojave Desert formed by debris-laden flash flood. The streaming canals on the fans can also be seen. The Mojave River and several playas are about 40 kilometers northwest of the dunes, and they are remarkable in the image due to their large white traces. As we can see at the bottom, the first graph is the alluvial fan, and the second graph is the star dunes in the Castle Dune. The formation of and evolution of Castle Dune are mainly controlled by aeolian processes. Strong winds carry sand from the northwest to the Castle Dune, and the Providence Mountain and Granite Mountain block the wind. The wind speed reduced and sand deposited, gradually piled up into dunes, as we can see in the first graph. The Mojave Desert is in the rain shadow zone of the Sierra Nevada mountains, so it has very little annual precipitation and sparse vegetation, which contributes to the aeolian processes. The rocks of nearby mountains, such as the Death Valley, are broken by weathering, forming sand and gravel. Some intermittent rivers, such as the Mojave River, formed in the Mojave Desert, and when the rainfall is sufficient, the flash flood carried gravel and sediments from the mountains to low-lying areas near the Castle Dune. The primary type of sediment is cross due to its strong resistance to weathering. It can survive from long periods of aeolian processes. The small amount of feldspar and mica may also be found too. In addition, after long-distance rolling and bouncing, sand grains are usually rounded, so the main rock type could be sandstone, mainly composed of quartz and feldspars, with rounded, very well-sorted fine sand and cross-bedding. The second place is the Godavari River in India. It originates in Trimbak Mountain in the Western Ghats. The chosen area is in the lower part in the Telangana state, as we can see the red arrow in the first graph. The upper half of the Godavari River flows through the Deccan Plateau, an area of high and undulating terrain. The river flows fast, and in the chosen section, the river just left the plateau, and it widens to about 3 kilometers wide, and the water flows more gently. A large amount of sediments are deposited here. According to the satellite image, we can clearly see the floodplains, point bars, sawwags, and sandbanks constituted by sediments. The image was taken in January, which was in the dry season, and in the summer, the river flows will increase dramatically. As we can see, they also have a cross-section graph. It clearly shows the change of the terrain. The river processes are the main type of surface processes. In the upper reaches, due to steep gradients, erosion is intense, such as scoring, abrasion, and dissolution. Erosion weakens as the river enters the plateau, but it can still provide large amounts of sediments to the lower river basin. In the lower reaches, where the chosen area is located, erosion and deposition all take place. River deposits sediments to form sandbanks, levees, alluvial plains, and point bars during the dry season, and the river continues to erode the banks and riverbeds, deepening the sawwags, especially during the monsoon season when the river discharge is high. According to the graph, we can see the pink area are the Deccan basalts. The Deccan Plateau has a large amount of basalt, also called the Deccan Trap. Weathering is an important source of sediments, so the basalt of the Deccan Plateau was weathered to form clay and black soil rich in iron and magnesium, which had good resistance to erosion. In addition, the chemical weathering also created laterite, also called red soil, in the low rainfall area in the Western Ghats. The river brought the products of weathering to lower reaches, and the organic matter, sand, silt, clay, and gravel deposited and formed alluvial layers. These deposits were mainly constituted by quartz, feldspar, and clay. Therefore, the sandstone, mudstone, and shale are common in this area. Mudstone and shales are usually formed from the fine sediments and usually formed in low-energy environments, such as floodplain during the flood period and the river channel during the dry season. They all have fine grain sizes and are very well sorted. The difference is that the shale is obviously stratified and the mudstone is usually blocky. The third place is the Flat Island and Nanshan Island in South China Sea. The chosen area is on an atoll on the South China Sea, and it has two coral islands on its north and west, called Flat Island and Nanshan Island respectively. The atoll is about 21 kilometers long and 8 kilometers wide. It has a large lagoon with an average depth of 10 to 20 meters. The Flat Island is a low flat island with 1,240 meters in length and 90 meters in width. Its shape is constantly changing, depends on the direction of winds and waves. It has little vegetation on the island, only with some salt-tolerant grass. The Nanshan Island is a round island with an area of 7.93 hectares. It has some low-growing herbs and more developed coral reef system. Both islands are surrounded by coral reefs and shallow lagoons. The reefs may be submerged at high tide. As we can see on the right is the cross-sectional plot. We can clearly identify different components of the reef system, such as the deep forereef, the buttress zone, the reef crest, back reef, and lagoon zone. The coastal erosion is the main surface process taking place in this area. Wave and tides continuously erode the shorelines, and the shapes of the islands are constantly changing. The flat island had a great change in shape every year. As for Nanshan Island, because of the protection of more developed coral reef system and lusher vegetation, its shape hadn't changed that much. However, because the island were too small and lacked sediment supplies, coastal erosion didn't form any other special topography like spits, bars, and barrier islands. The coral reefs are the predominant source of sediments. Coral form the calcium carbonate structures during their growth, and which break up and accumulate after death, gradually forming islands. Waves also formed with the assistance of algae. The rich carbonate supplies and constant agitation of waves provide a suitable environment. Therefore, coral limestones and oolitic limestones should be the potential rock type of the sediments. Basalt may also be found in the atoll because the atoll is the reef formed around the volcanic island which subsequently sank. The remains of the eruption may form this basalt. Coral limestone is light and porous. All these three types of grain size, the fine, medium, and coarse grain, can all be found. It forms during the reaction with hydrochloric acid and contains fossils. Basalt in this region was formed by the rapid cooling of magma and is usually blocky and porous. For the conclusion, by analyzing the characteristics of the target area, as well as data on topography, precipitation, wind direction, and so on, we can know the dominant surface processes in this region, and by analyzing the surrounding environment, it can reveal the sources of sediments, which is also helpful in working out the potential rock types of the sediments. With these conclusions, we can make reasonable inference about the origin of this area, how it will change, and what will it be like in the future. And here are the references. Thank you for your watching.